You've heard of Johnny Depp. You've heard of Johnny Cash. And now it's time for a new era of Johnny Truth. That's it. Tonight on Johnny Truth, we'll have a special guest from the Embryonic Stem Cell Research Association of America. Come out there. Here's the chairman.
Hi, my name is Jane Smith. Thanks
Hello.
for having me.
Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty stuff right now.
Sure.
What would you define as an embryonic stem cell?
An embryonic stem cell is a cell. It's just like any other cell. Like, we're made of cells, right? Plants, animals, people, we're made of cells. And they're tiny little microscopic things. You have them, when you clip your nails, you cut off cells. When you cut your hair, you cut off cells. Cells just are what we're made of. So I don't really understand why an embryonic stem cell is worth any more to anybody than the cells that my fingernails are made of that I throw in the dirt.
Okay, let me explain that to you. An embryonic stem cell is one of the 30 to 34 stem cells taken out of an unborn embryo at 3 to 5 days old. When they take the cell from the unborn child, it kills the baby. That's where the moral problem arises.
Wait a minute. You're telling me that you think an embryo that's only 3 to 5 days old is a baby? Is a person? Come on, it's just a bunch of cells.
Whether it's 1 cell, 2 cells, 4 cells, 8 cells, 16 cells, it's still a person. It's growing, and it is taking nutrients from its surroundings, and it is going to eventually be you or me or some other person.
Okay, you have a point. I do know that there are 4 criteria for life, and they do meet the 4 criteria for life. I learned that in Biology 101, so okay, I'll give you that much. I will agree with you that an embryo is human and alive. However, they're certainly not as important as I am. I mean, I'm here, I'm born, I'm alive, I'm talking to you. I'm much more important than a couple cells in a petri dish.
If you can kill an embryo and use its cells for research in the vague hope of curing some people, and embryonic stem cells haven't successfully cured anyone. Embryonic stem cells have been a complete and total failure. Embryonic stem cells have the tendency to form tumors and the tendency to be rejected by the human because it's not their own cells. Also has the tendency to pass animal viruses on to humans because animal cells are used to keep the cells growing. And that's a lot to think about.
Okay, but why still is the split cells as important as the fully grown adult human?
If you lower the value on a 3 to 5 day old embryo, and they've already done it with abortion and lowered the value of a baby that's just about to be born. If you're going to lower the value of a baby, then they can lower the value of you eventually one day. They'll go higher and higher up, and if the president's sick and maybe he needs a heart, and maybe you have that heart, should they kill you and take your heart and give it to the president just because he's more important than you?
Well, no, of course not. That's wrong. I mean, isn't it?
Of course it'd be wrong, but it's still wrong to do it to an embryo too. An embryo is just as important as anyone else. Embryos have rights too, you know.
Well, actually, I don't really think they do in this country, do they?
It's true, they don't, but they should. Why shouldn't they have rights?
Well, because, okay, they're human, okay, they're alive, they're growing, they're reproducing, they're taking energy, they're developing, just like any other living human being. But, I mean...
When do they start having rights? Once they're born? What's the difference once they're born? They're just the same amount of cells once they're born.
Okay, let's put it this way. We are this close to curing hundreds of diseases, so isn't it worth it to maybe...
That's where you're wrong. Embryonic stem cells, as I've already told you, haven't successfully cured any diseases. Adult stem cells have cured over 73 diseases.
Wait a minute, stop right there. I thought you were opposed to stem cell research. Why are you telling me all these benefits of adult stem cells?
That's where most people get confused. Embryonic stem cell research is a highly complex subject, and most people don't understand the intricacies of. Embryonic stem cell research is the only stem cell research that me or any other pro-life organization have any problem with. Adult stem cells, umbilical cord stem cells, amniotic fluid stem cells, all are perfectly fine. They've cured over 73 diseases, including Parkinson's, spinal cord injuries, blood and liver disease, and many, many more.
Wait a minute. You're telling me you're actually for stem cell research? You're telling me that adult stem cell research, umbilical cord and amniotic fluid and these different things that aren't from embryos, not only don't kill anyone, but they're actually curing diseases? This is total news to me. Because I thought if there were any cures, it had to be from embryonic stem cells, because I've always been told that embryonic stem cells are special and only they can, cure all these diseases and stop all this pain and suffering in the world. I always thought that, okay, I realize in my heart of hearts that they're living, they're alive, they're human, I know, I realize it, I probably didn't ever want to admit it. But I mean, a few cells, they can cure all these people. It's worth it, in the long run. Right? But now you're telling me it doesn't work? And these other ones that you don't have to kill people work?
Also, an interesting fact is embryonic stem cell research has been going on far longer than adult stem cell, umbilical cord stem cell, and amniotic fluid stem cells. Also, there is evidence that there could be a universal adult stem cell with the ability to morph into every single kind of cell used by the human body.
Get out! You are kidding me. I was never told this. I've always thought, first of all, I believe that you pro-life people were against stem cell research, period. So I guess I didn't realize that I had been reading about cures, different things that had happened, like hearing different things. Like I heard about a woman who had grew a windpipe, but my assumption was that was embryonic stem cells, because I just thought that only embryonic stem cells were of any value, and that these crazy pro-life people were trying to do something else. I didn't know what they were doing, but I thought they were opposed to all stem cell research. And I mean, I guess I really was totally confused.
Unfortunately, many scientists withhold valuable information from the media, and that twists what the media thinks. And even more importantly, most media is mostly consisted of embryonic stem cell research supporters. So the average everyday person is getting a doubly twisted view of embryonic stem cell research, and they're completely confused. I am Johnnie Truth, and you will get the truth from me.
Well, I appreciate it, Johnnie Truth. I really do, because I obviously was one of those people. I had no idea that there were these great cures already happening, and even without embryonic stem cells. There's wonderful things from what you said. People having wonderful cures from cancer and different diseases. I had no idea what was happening with stem cells that were not taken from embryos. That's fascinating, and it's really good news, because, like I said before, in my heart of hearts, I mean, it really wasn't right. But, I justified it because I figured, you're helping people.
Well, here, maybe this statement will help you. Embryonic stem cell research hasn't successfully cured anyone. It is altogether hopeless and wasteful of time, and it will slow down production when it comes to adult stem cells, umbilical cord stem cells, and amniotic fluid stem cells. Alternative stem cells are the better choice.
You know what, Johnnie Truth? I'm going to come right out in here on Love TV and Johnnie Truth Show. You are worried. If what you're saying is true, and I'm going to do my own research, but if what you say is true, I think I've just changed sides. Thank you, Johnnie Truth.
For more information, see www.stemcellresearch.org, www.stemcellresearchcures.com, www.rtl-lifespan.org. Thank you. And that's the Johnny True Show. Good night, America.